The biggest thing is, you know, people want to find and build, find singles. You know, I just need a record on the radio. I love the Jeremiah dude. I think he's talented. I don't think that the record. I think the record is a great record. I don't know if that's going to help him build his brand. You know what I'm saying? Because the record isn't about him. Part of building a brand, if you listen to Life Jennings, listen to Keisha Cole, right? They're building their brands. And the reason why is because when you listen to their music, you learn about them. You learn about what's going on in their head. You're not listening to them finding the new dance or the new stupid ass saying. You're really listening to them, and you're finding that you're learning about them. When you listen to someone's music and you can find that you learn about them, then they're helping building their own brand. Jeremiah, I don't know if he's gonna catch another single now. I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know where he's from. I don't know what he's into. I don't know anything about him. I love the record. I think he's talented. I think he looks like a star. You know what I'm saying? So I get the fact that, you know, the record worked really big. Are people gonna rush out to buy his album? I don't know. I would be very surprised if they do, because, you know, it was just about that record. Just about, you know, it's something that, you know, people are gonna go and download the single to that, you know, people aren't inclined to go buy the album because, you know, it's just a record. 90% of the people still want to pay for the music. You know, there's certain people who, you know, because of the economic climate, you know, if they whatever record they could get for free, they'll get for free. But for the most part, people still want to buy music. People don't have a problem spending, you know, if it's their favorite one record they want to go buy from an artist, like let's just say Birthday Sex. If they want to go buy Birthday Sex, they'll go to iTunes and spend $1.99 to buy it and put it on their iPod instead of waiting for somebody to email it to them and put it on their iPod. They have a problem with that. The biggest problem is again, you know, substance-based music. You know, people are getting away from paying for music because they're not interested in the artist. They're only interested in the single. You know, if you look at physicals, if you look at album sales, not single sales, but album sales, it's still 70% physical CDs being bought out of FYE or Walmart or whatever, versus 30% of the albums being bought off iTunes or whatever. So people still want to go get the CD and look at the artwork and see who produced it and look at the photos and get into the artist if they're inclined to buy the album. If they're not inclined to buy the album, they're going to go on iTunes and they're going to download their favorite single. Oh, I like this record. I heard it on the radio station a million times. I want to iron my clothes to it in the morning, or I want to work out to it in the gym, and I want to listen to it at my leisure, so I'll buy the single. But they're not inclined to buy the album. When you find that, you know, you have a T.I. record, or you have, you know, somebody, a Young Jeezy record or something like that, you know, people want that whole album because they're into that artist. So they'll go out and they'll buy the CD because, you know, a new T.I. album, you know, I gotta have it. You know, you gotta have the new T.I. album. He's dope. I'm into everything that this guy is saying, so I'm gonna go purchase the album. I'm gonna go purchase the CD versus just going to download his single. Let me tell you something. There's 3 things about being independent, and you gotta be built for this, right? Without these 3 ingredients, I'm telling everybody who wants to be independent, it's very important to, you gotta have these 3 things. You gotta have the talent. It's number 1, first and foremost. You gotta have the talent. You gotta have the know-how. You gotta have the people that know every department when it comes to publicity, when it comes to sales, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to online marketing, when it comes to radio promotions. That's big, radio promotions. It's not like, yo, let me send my record to Hot 97, and if they play it, I'm good, I'm gonna sell 1 million records. There's a whole big world out there. Hot 97 is one of the most important stations in the world, but there's a big country, there's a big world, there's international marketing, there's international airplay you gotta get to. You gotta have the know-how. If you don't know how to do it, you're going to fail. And the third thing, which, you know, I think is the least important, but still very important, and you gotta have it, you gotta have money. If you don't have the financing to, you know, get, and trust me, there's money that has to be spent, that will be spent, that if you don't have it, is gonna make your job harder. Not impossible, but it's gonna be harder. So, you know, you gotta have the talent. You gotta have the artist that can really, really take you to another level. Gotta have the know-how to run the company. And number three, you gotta have the money to spend to materialize everything that you accomplished.